All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. Got a little stream gameplay here from tonight's stream that I just finished. And as usual, it's not exactly what this gameplay is going to be about. This can be about something a little bit more serious, and it's something that we have to consider as a community, as whichever kind of player you are. So let's be real here for a minute. Let's ask ourselves a very simple and straight to the point question. What if the next Call of Duty sucks? Now, Modern Warfare, again, for so many people, that game, I mean, I have heard so many different things about Modern Warfare, and for the most part, in terms of the traditional multiplayer, in so many different aspects, a lot of the community is very disappointed. Even for the players that are able to play well, they're still disappointed. I mean, the way the game punishes you for moving and stuff like that, right? It's just, okay, let's just be respectful here for a second. I'm going to be nice on this one, okay? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice and basically say that the game, the biggest problem with Modern Warfare is that it punishes you for moving. It punishes you for moving from the second you move. So if you don't have dead silence activated when you do get it, you are basically punished for moving. So you gotta like be super duper tactical, if that's the, I hate that fucking word. Sorry guys, I hate that word in Call of Duty. Whenever I hear tactical, it just makes me cringe, really. I mean, it sends a shiver down my spine that I don't enjoy. I prefer the shiver that I enjoy, but unfortunately this isn't one of those shivers. So anyway, going back on topic here. The big question remains that what if the next Call of Duty sucks? What if it continues to punish players for moving around? Remember, as I mentioned in previous commentaries, or actually one of the more previous commentaries, actually, that if Call of Duty changes itself into something else that happens to generate more money, regardless of how different it plays from what a Call of Duty is supposed to play like, if it generates more money, they could give a rat's ass less of what we think and how we enjoy it. To them, it's all about numbers and stuff. Like, for instance, there are a lot of people that play Warzone Battle Royale, right? And I'm glad to see that for the most part the community is very happy with that. That's great. I mean, everybody that I'm watching is basically, everybody that normally watch stream is basically streaming nothing but that, except for a couple of people here and there. But for the most part, they're streaming Warzone. So it's good to see that. Now, granted, part of the reason is because they're tired of the multiplayer and they enjoy Warzone more, which is great. I think part of the reason is because, I don't know, I guess I've heard on social media that the footsteps are a lot quieter or whatnot, which is great. Why can't we mix and match? Make the footsteps louder in Warzone and make the footsteps more silent like they are in the current Warzone in the regular multiplayer. I mean, even the footsteps being silent to where we're not punished so much for moving would at least tempt me to get on Modern Warfare and maybe play it a little bit. But I can tell you this though, I did play a little bit of Warzone. I played what is it, the plunger mode or plunder mode or whatever it's called. I know it's not called plunger, but I just kind of like to be funny. But the first game I got like 11 kills, and I don't play BR, so I think that's pretty good. I mean, for me, all I want to do is basically like run around by myself and then try to kill people that are trying to deposit their money or whatnot, so that way I can just keep on getting kills and just delay the game. I know that's not the way to play it, but for me, that I just want to run around and shoot people. So, but the thing is, long story short, it ended up just after that one game, it ended up being like, took way too long to find people. There were a shit ton of people that were playing on the team that basically like were avoiding confrontation with other players, and all they wanted to do was just deposit money, and that's it. Roll around, deposit money, and just not care about, you know, putting people down or anything like that. So that's great that they're enjoying that and everything, but it's not for me. But it ended up becoming too quiet to where there's just too much time in between the action. I mean, the action itself, when it does happen, is pretty decent. I mean, granted, it's unstable because of I don't know, the servers. I guess they're I don't know, 20 to 30 tick rate servers, whatever the hell you're called. They're called, just like Black Ops 4 was at first before they fixed that shit after we complained so hard about it. But I'm sure Warzone's going to be good. I'm sure Warzone's going to continue to get better as time goes on, because that's part of the formula. Time is one of the things that improves a game. Any game, actually, especially with Call of Duty, since it seems to be released a little unfinished, and then all of a sudden, you know, 6 months or more in later, it becomes something that plays a hell of a lot better than it did at launch. Go figure. But we have to consider reality that it is possible because, again, Call of Duty changing and evolving or devolving, it may not. It may start to turning into something else. I mean, I think I read that there were at like within the first 24 or 48 hours or something like that, that there were over 6 million players in Battle Royale. So that goes to show you something. Like Call of Duty multiplayer in and of itself is aggressive. Like, well, this game specifically is aggressive compared to Battle Royale, right? So if people overall like a more passive game, what makes you think that they won't translate that into the multiplayer? Like, they're not going to listen to us veterans, like the players that know Call of Duty, that have been playing it for a while, the players that are good, that understand Call of Duty, I mean, you put all that together, it's like we are the vast minority. We're not as a minority as the pro players, because the pro players are the top 1%. I would say the pub stompers, or the pub veterans, so to speak. Let's just say the pub veterans. I'd say they're maybe the top 20 or 30% at the most of the community, right? So the other 70%, I mean, really, it's all about 70%, man. You got to appease the most amount of people, because the more amount of people you appease, the more they are likely to stick around and play your game, the more they're likely to buy microtransactions and everything else you have to put out, and you name it. So it's not about us veterans anymore. As a matter of fact, I don't think it ever was, really. I mean, this is why all these little things have been implemented into the game. Whether it be team balancing, whether it be skill-based matchmaking, whether it be the specialist being overpowered, whether it may be something a little bit more subtle and unnoticeable to most people, like the increased aim assist. Go back and play Infinite Warfare and play that for a few days, and then come back to Black Ops 4 and see how much stronger the aim assist is. And then go into Modern Warfare and check out how strong that game's aim assist is. Again, for those of you guys that are on console or whatnot. So there's all sorts of things, little things in between, and big things that they implemented to the game to appease the casual player. And a lot of it has to do with gameplay. I mean, even in Black Ops 4, like this game here, you got the Fog of War. Veteran players do not need the Fog of War to know where the enemy team is. I mean, we know spawns really, really well, and the Fog of War was something that they implemented to help create situational awareness for pretty much the casuals, like the super casuals, so that don't understand how spawns work and where the enemy team is going to be, and expecting gunfights and all that kind of stuff. So they wanted to give them a hand, so to speak, with that. So making the time to kill super duper fast and things like that is another thing that makes, like, and the way they punish, like, a good player is going to know where to go, so they're going to move around. But when you make the footsteps really, really loud, it punishes that player. So anybody, no matter how skilled you are, I mean, you could tell where somebody's going to come from if you can hear them coming from a mile away. So all these little things that they implement, and the gameplay changes that they implement into these more recent Call of Duties, are actually hurting the game more than they are doing it good. Well, at least for us veterans. Again, game quality in terms of what a traditional Call of Duty is supposed to be doesn't matter when it comes to corporate interests and money. It really doesn't. Money matters. Money is king. Forget about ping is king. It's all about money is king. So yeah. So I want you guys to do me a favor and answer this question for me. Whether you're a content creator, whether you are a casual player, a noob or whatnot. I mean, there's a few of you that might see this video that always like Call of Duty no matter what the fuck they present. I mean, there's a few players like that out there. And, you don't care how the multiplayer is. You'll always find a way to love the game, which is great. To be honest, I wish I could be one of these people, but I'm strictly a multiplayer guy for the most part. And if there's a shit ton wrong with the multiplayer that's not right, then, I'm obviously going to talk about it. But, so, before I close, what are you going to do? Whether you're a content creator, or whether you're a super noob, or whether you're in between, or whatever the deal is, casual player, anything. What are you going to do if the next Call of Duty sucks? And specifically, like, what is it that you don't want? I mean, for me personally, the one biggest request I have for the next game is to not punish players that like to move. So hopefully they got the message from Modern Warfare on that. We will see what happens. Battle Royale, I think, is going to kill the multiplayer, as it's been mentioned by other content creators as well. So I think Warzone is pretty much taking all of the multiplayer base, and the only people that are playing multiplayer are either the ones that like a really passive multiplayer game like Rainbow Six Siege, or the competitive community, and that's it. So, Anyway, guys, let me know down in the comment section below what you think and what your opinions are, and what are you going to do if the next Call of Duty sucks? And dare I say it, what if it's worse than Modern Warfare? I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.